We'll get started now, may as well. So this is basically just an overview of NEAR to familiarize yourself with it. Our big push here is AI and chain abstraction, but I think it's really important to know the whole context of NEAR to implement an application to the best you can, really. And a bit about myself, I'm DevRel at NEAR. I came into the ecosystem building my own product and then started working as a DevRel just because I love the product so much and the company. So, yeah, today's goals. I'll talk a little bit about our bounties. The first is NEAR and AI. AI is the big push for NEAR at the moment. We want to be the blockchain ecosystem to build AI in. And as part of that, we're offering a 6K bounty to integrate AI and NEAR in whatever way you deem fit. And we'll get into more applications of that later. And then chain signatures, we'll also talk about more. This is signing transactions on other chains from NEAR itself in this multi-chain chain abstraction narrative. But we'll get into these in a bit. And that's for 4K. So we'll give a bit of an overview of the whole stack as a whole. And I really want you to go away from this talk knowing how we can proceed together during the hackathon, like how you can get resources, how you can get help, because we want to support you as much as we can so you could build some cool stuff. So in general, why should you build in NEAR? I think the main point, the most obvious point, is it's fast and scalable. We're sharded by design. So the idea is that theoretically, it's infinitely scalable and throughput will increase as it needs to. And we're also cheap. Transactions fees are going to cost you less than a cent. You don't have to really worry about gas costs. And we have user and dev-friendly experience with named accounts, access keys that no other blockchain system really implements, and things like built-in account abstraction and chain signatures. So, starting off, the account model. Really simply, NEAR offers named accounts. We also have these long strings of hex like AB, 2, 5, 6, whatever, that you have to try and remember. Well, you're not going to remember it, but you have in your wallet and you have to copy the whole thing over. But the idea with NEAR is that my account is pivortex.near. You can send money to that easily because you can remember it, or you can just see it and type it out. And yeah, these are really nice to organize your applications. As you can see, I can have like my token listed under my app's bigger domain name, I suppose. And it makes it easier to deploy new accounts from contracts because you can have like factory contracts which deploy accounts for your users with either a contract uploaded to it or more specifics about the account. So I could have all my users listed under PyVortex if I wanted to. And we have, I suppose, native account abstraction, as in all accounts have smart contracts and all smart contracts are account. And that was since like day one when the protocol went live. And access keys. This is something that's not really known much about NEAR, but it's one of the coolest things. Well, to start off, we have your classic access keys, which is a key pair which can do anything with your account, control it fully, delete the account if you want. On NEAR, you can actually rotate these keys. So say I accidentally left my seed phrase in these slides, then if I was quick enough, I could change my key before you can access it, and I don't have to send all my assets somewhere else. But the most interesting thing about access keys is we have limited access keys, or sometimes called function call access keys, where I can create an access key that is only able to sign specific methods on specific contracts. And why you would do that is that we're actually going to give these out to applications so they can sign transactions on my behalf to make UX better, basically. So yeah, I don't know if you've seen this meme before, but it's the idea that this is the future of Web3 gaming, where every bullet you shoot, you have to sign the transaction in your wallet. Well, with Near, the idea is that this pop-up isn't happening because the app just signs the transaction for you. And yeah, these are limited access keys, but because these can call a function, the function can do more than the access key can do. So it can create an account or it can send Near. So they're not just limited to calling functions themselves. They can do what a function can do, obviously. So with that, you can like link drop people accounts with a function call access key. So I can allow you to interact with my app without you needing an account, essentially. Meta transactions. I don't know if you've heard about this, but we actually have meta transactions built in at the protocol level. There's no fancy workaround. It's just supported. Basically, how it works is if you want to pay for your user's gas, then you sign the transaction, whatever it may be, call some function on a contract, and it's then wrapped in a larger meta transaction and passed to a relayer who attaches the gas and the deposit to the meta transaction, and then that's sent to the network. And then when it's received by the network, it's like unwrapped, and the inner transaction is then processed as if it was sent by the original person. So you don't have to modify your app or anything. You just set up a relayer, and that's about it. Chain signatures. This is the thing I'm interested in the most about Near. And this is the idea that your Near account now becomes a multi-chain account because you can derive all these addresses from your account. And this allows you to be able to sign transaction on like nearly whatever chain. It covers all Ethereum, all EVM, Bitcoin as well. And there's some partners here like Polygon, Arbitrum, and I'm sure a load of more EVMs. So you can hit their bounties by just signing your transaction from Near onto that target chain, which, I mean, you could probably do like 200 bounties here with this. So yeah, how does this work? Basically, you as a user wants to sign a transaction on Ethereum. So you create a transaction, and then you send that to the MPC contract, and then the MPC contract waits for an off-chain response from the MPC network, which sort of holds a sharded private key and then forms it together to create a signature. And then once you get that signature, you get it back to your contract and then back to the user, who then adds it to the transaction and can relay it as if you were just signing it with an Ethereum wallet. And these are the steps in more detail. So you have to derive a foreign address, and each Near account has basically unlimited foreign accounts because they can just change what the path is, like derivation path. Huh? Time? What is the time? We got 10. Ah. Sorry, I was a bit confused. But yeah, you derive an account, you create the transaction you want to send, you get a signature for that transaction, you put it together, and then you send it to the network. It's really quite simple. I don't know what that means. Some Spanish that I don't know, but the video is not working apparently. We'll just skip that. It was some video. I can show you a live demo if you want to see it. It was just basically how to sign a transaction in the front end. And yeah, when you put all these things I've talked about together, you get chain abstraction, which is you don't have to know about the intricacies of each chain. You just interact with blockchain as a whole, or even abstract an account and you're just interacting with this application, and it can be signing transactions and serving users wherever they are, and you don't really know about it. And one of the most interesting thing about chain signatures is that if we remember, a contract is an account itself, so a contract can actually call the MPC network and have derived addresses of its own, which enables a lot more use cases, and NEAR can essentially become this smart contract layer for other chains and have like a common interface, and you can do things like swap accounts. So I can swap your Arbitrum account for my Polygon account just inside of a NEAR contract, and that's done with NEAR's finality and NEAR's gas price, which is much lower than a lot of other chains. So I can send like Bitcoin or Ethereum without having to pay gas on that target chain. So what can you do with this? Well, I already said the first one really, but you can also create link drops on NEAR with an access key, like a function call access key that allows you to drop an asset on whatever chain you want to claim it on. You could do social login, account recovery, and things like very cheap multisigs is an interesting use case because you can basically have one NEAR contract that controls like 1,000 different multisigs. So you don't actually have to deploy a multisig on Ethereum. You just have it like baked into a NEAR contract, and that cuts costs by a lot. Well, as well, DeFi on Bitcoin, pretty cool, but we're here at Ethereum Bangkok, so it's better probably to do something related to Ethereum. Integrationless services. If you verify something on top of NEAR, then you can broadcast that to whatever chain you want. Like it might be cheaper to verify a proof or get an Oracle feed on NEAR, and then you can just send that to whatever chain you want with kind of little cost. So if you went to an event before, you'll realize that NEAR is the blockchain for AI. This is the big push. We want to become the ecosystem for AI, and it's not necessarily that we have integrations deep in the protocol level. That's not really what AI is about. We are making some changes with intents and stuff. But yeah, we're trying to build out an ecosystem that is just full of AI. And I think a lot of people have been saying that like data is the new oil as such, and we're trying to bring as much data onto NEAR and as much infrastructure and services so it makes it easier for you to build your AI application here. Oh, I forgot I put this in. But this is basically all the AI partners inside of the ecosystem that makes it easier to build your app here. I think someone's taking a picture, so I'll wait. Yeah, take a picture quick if you want. 3, 2, oh good. And yeah, how can you think about AI in a hackathon with NEAR? Well, AI is the best place, NEAR is the best place to build with AI because you're not just building an agent on top of NEAR, you're also building an agent everywhere since we have chain signatures. So why confine your agent just to one place? Why not have it be applied everywhere? So if you build it on NEAR, then you can serve everyone with your agent everywhere, essentially. And yeah, I spoke about the second point, but the account model really goes nicely with agent creation since agents have given a bit more personality with their own named accounts, and they can act by themselves and live their own life as they want. And how could you use an LLM to make decisions on blockchain? So you can actually have a smart contract yield and resume, and it resumes based upon an external input, and that input being like a response from an LLM. So you can actually have a smart contract controlled by AI essentially. And blockchain is pretty difficult to interact with. So how can we use blockchain? How can we use AI to make it easier to interact with? What can you build? Here's just some ideas. The first one is really quite cool, but quite simple. Basically, there was an application that was made before a few months ago where there exists a treasury full of meme coins. And what you have to do is you have to shill this smart contract and this AI model your own meme coin or some other meme coin. And the better you shill the meme coin, the more the treasury will rebalance its token holdings. So if you shill it well enough, then it will buy a load of your meme coins, which is just a fun little use case. But it really shows what you can do with a LLM inside of a smart contract. And next, indexes, they're kind of a pain to set up. So why can't I just say to some model, hey, build me an indexer that gets me this and this information? That would really make life easier. So if you can build some sort of infrastructure or service that is made so much easier by AI, that would be a great application. And like I said, with agents and named accounts, you could have an agent that acts autonomously inside of a blockchain's games economy. So it can go around buying skins or like weapons, items, whatever, as NFTs inside of this economy whilst no one is even online. So it makes the world and the game a little more like real life. And I'll just talk about some announcements that came recently that might be worth noting when you're thinking about building. Near just came out with, Near AI came out with an assistant, which it's like ChatGPT, but these models are very limited by, they can't perform actions for the user very well. So inside of this interface, you can let it control your Near account and sign and form transactions for you, and also generate interactive front ends inside of the model. So this might come in use when you're building. Take a look at that. There's also the research hub. So if you're interested in developing these models, we have a competition for people to build a model with it starting at like 0.5 trillion parameters, but then going up to 1.4 trillion. And there's like a competition to train these models in a decentralized manner, basically. And we have a new transaction type coming called intents, which basically says, hey, I want to perform this action, but I don't know how to perform it. And then I can have some solver come in, which can be an AI agent, to complete that for me and finish the transaction. We also just had Ethereum wallet support, so you can plug in MetaMask to your application now on Near. So if you're coming from like a Solidity Ethereum background, you could just use the wallets that you're familiar with. And we also just had OmniBridge announced, which with chain signatures is very easy to sign transactions on other chains, but it's really quite difficult to get backwards. OmniBridge is allowing you to verify state on other chains through like light clients, various message passing protocols. Yeah, cool stuff. And QR code time. If you're not in our group, I think most of you are, but scan this QR. We have links to our docs on there and also like a Telegram group. So if you can't find us then just ping me in there. I'm like the big orange muscly cat in that Telegram group. So if you want to talk privately, just ping me. And that's everything. I'm going to get some food now. Come talk to me in the queue if you have any questions. And thank you.